G'day, welcome to another edition of Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business. Coach James Short here, aka Shorty, and welcome. Oh my goodness, this next guest of ours. We're in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. We are in for a treat. Benny Holder from Elders Lifestyle Group in Grafton has been in the industry for a number of years. He's got an incredible team around him, and he's just been going from good to great over the last, over the last 3 to 4 years. He's just been absolutely on a trajectory, which is just phenomenal. I'm really excited to talk to Benny today about his journey and what's taken him from where he is today and where he's come from. He's had a journey. He's had like us all, right? And but where he's at now and what he's got coming up is absolutely phenomenal. So before we get Benny on the show today, remember to subscribe. Remember to click that little button to follow us. So whenever a new episode drops, you get it straight into your inbox. So let's get him on the line. Benny, legend, superstar, good friend of mine. Now before we get into it, right? We've known each other for a little while, right? But it didn't start. Our conversations started probably around about 3-4 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I played hard to get, I guess, didn't I?
and then it was like, okay, sweet,
Yeah.
no worries. And then the universe aligned, and we came back and was like, oh, I know you.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it was a pretty surreal moment. Yeah, very surreal moment. And these things happen for a reason, don't they?
And that's what I want to unpack, right? So before we get into that, let's go back to the origins. So when did you first get started, and what got you into the real estate game?
Oh, mate, I was making coffees at one of the local coffee shops, and which was only 2 or 3 doors down from the local, from Elders Real Estate. They kept coming in getting coffees, as you know, real estate agents do. That's all they do, drink coffee and drive around all day. And I just would joke around if a job came up, give me a yell. So eventually a job came up, and my job interview was kind of virtually at the coffee shop, and they went, well, everyone at work likes you, so do you want a job? And that's kind of how I started. Yeah.
And so how many years ago was that now?
Oh, mate, that would be 7 to 8 years ago. So I started in property management. Did that for 12 to 18 months, then got a bit of the itch to make some money, and so I did a bit of an apprenticeship for another 12 to 18 months, and then so I've kind of been selling now for just over 5 years. Yeah.
Amazing. So think about those. I'm just trying to picture you in property management. Think about the year in those property management days. What did you take from that's helped you into the sales world?
Obviously good understanding of how rentals work, but a good understanding, I guess, of dealing with, I'll probably just get caught up. I get really caught up in the people side of things. So getting attached to the stories around who's doing what. So, looking back, it's been pretty funny. There's been a couple of people that I put into rentals way back then who then ended up going on to buying their first place and selling their first place with me. So it's been pretty cool. So just stories like that. It's been fun to be a part of those kind of things and watching people kind of, in their real estate journey, just moving forward. So it's really cool.
So good. So fast forward to today, right? You've got, give us a breakdown on who's on your team. They're amazing. Oh, mate, these guys are rock stars in themselves. And then obviously focusing on the Grafton area, like what's the sort of volume and turnaround that you're doing at the moment? So team and focus.
Okay, so JC, he's my buyer specialist. So we have a really big push on that buyer mentality and buyer service. So we all service buyers, but he's an expert in that area. So really making sure that they get that first class service. Candy helps us run all of our admin and make sure that we're all compliant and up to date. And then we kind of label it a bit of a concierge type role. So we're looking to make sure that when you list or sell or buy through Team Benny, that you're getting plenty of points of contact and you're kept up to date with all that stuff. We've just taken Craig on, an ex-jockey, so he is short, unlike yourself. He's so having a crack. So he's been in the industry now for 3-4 months. So he's just learning the ropes. But yeah, just a bull in a gate. They're just ready to take on the world. So made a pretty cool team. We have a lot of fun. There's a lot of banter that gets thrown around. So just loving it at the moment.
That's what I love with you guys, because when it's time to like put the let's go hat on, it is, but there's also that care factor, that banter, but it's just like we're here to get stuff done, but let's have some fun in doing it. And that's what I love about you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that comes across hopefully in how we handle business with our clients. I think that we do genuinely care, and we do try and show that obviously through the experiences they have with us, but more around our communication and going above and beyond around helping, the intricate things, whether it's storage sheds or removalists or maintenance or work getting done around the houses and things like that. It's all of those other little things, putting the bins out, just that kind of stuff. I think that comes through hopefully in what we do, as opposed to just list and sell, get the money, move on, so that's probably one of our big points of difference for sure.
So it's definitely those 1%ers that you guys just nail, I think, with like the removalist bins, all that kind of stuff. Obviously focusing on the Grafton area, right? And all the surrounding areas. What are you noticing in the market around there? And where have you seen over the last couple of months, and where do you see it over now? And where do you see it over the next couple of months?
Yeah, I mean, the COVID boom was great. I think everywhere experienced a massive high and a big shift. I mean, it was, 30-40% increases on property. So people, getting some really great returns. At that time, we saw a lot of older investors cashing out, and solidifying their financial positions. We saw a lot of first home buyers being in a position to keep their first homes and upsize, so keep their investments. And that has now changed a lot. So we're now getting a lot of those first home purchasers that have upsized, needing to offload their first homes, because the holding, the carrying capacity to carry those with the interest rates as opposed to the rental income is just unaffordable. It's too much. So for example, you're going from a 500-week repayment to 650, and the tenants are not going to cover that. So it's to find $150, overnight is too difficult for a lot of people. So a lot of that, and a lot of we call them sell to buyers. So a lot of people wanting to either move, but look, with not a lot of stock on the market, it's really hard to want to put yourself out there to sell your place without somewhere to go. So Grafton does have its own little market. It's its revolving door. We find here a lot of people grow up here, move away because we don't have the universities and those kind of things, and then eventually come back here and start their families, and then that cycle just continues. So inevitably we sell to the 40-50-year-olds who have some relationship with Grafton back in the day. So it's just this ever-evolving chain. So it's a really cool place to be.
That's a really interesting, right? It is that flow-on effect, isn't it? So they grow up here, they move out, they come back. It's a real cyclical approach to their lifestyle, which is amazing. Where do you see it coming between, I guess, now and the 6 months? I know there's no crystal ball, but what are you noticing as some further trends, and where do you see that happening over the next 6 months, do you reckon?
Well, look, according to the financial experts and talking to a lot of the banks, just to try and get some answers to help, our buyers and sellers, is hopefully they do look at reducing the interest rates over the next 12 to 18 months, which will definitely, help ease some pressure. I think for the real estate market here, it's its own little bubble. It continues to just naturally grow. And we'll always have that ever evolving first home buyer homes. It's, our median sale price compared to a lot of other areas is still what we would class as cheap. You never tell the locals that, they get offended, but it's one of those things where the average sale, the average home price here could be 480 to 520, which is still very affordable for a lot of people with the bank supports and things like that. So it's, look, we'll be okay. and there will always be opportunities. There's still developments happening around the area, but those, as I said, those interest rate rises and the stress that that's causing is opening up that first home buyer market again. And the upsizes there's still opportunities there. So the banks are still giving money for those younger couples, professional couples that have the ability to upsize and release the equity in their first home. So look, it's still pretty positive. We definitely need more stock, more options. I think what we do is a lot of our work happens behind closed doors, and just playing Tetris, for a better example, around matching people. You know, we had 3 yesterday that just went, look, Benny, happy for you to sell our house at that price. You just need to find us somewhere to go. So, so there's plenty of that happening here.
I love the game. I love the analogy of Tetris real estate, because it's so true, right? It's just like, right, here, put it here, and then next level, fantastic, let's go. I like to always get under the hood and find out sort of what makes people tick, as you know. So I want to find out for you, what are some of the things that you do to work on your mindset? What are some of the daily practices or aspects that you do to work on you?
Call you every single day. Yeah. You know that. What do I do, mate? Look, I think at the end of the day, I take a lot of personal responsibility for myself and for my team and for those around me, my family. So I feel the weight of that growth and learning to probably become obsessed, I guess, or concentrate on what is my rate of growth. Am I moving forward and what that looks like? I've clearly established that trying to have everything balanced just equals 0 on the scales. So I've learnt to deal with, it's kind of, you know, a lot of family focus, and then that'll shift to a lot of business focus. I guess in order to answer your question around how to kind of manage all of that, whiskey is a good one. No, just finding what really helps me get centered, and at the moment that's the beach, that energy, that space. In Grafton there is no beach, as you know, so that ability to find a place just to recharge. This job, you know, is full on, and there's a lot of talking and there's a lot of stress, and as I just mentioned, you know, I carry the weight of a lot of that stuff because I do care, and so in order for me to be my best self, I do need to get better at winding down. So I know we joke about drinking, but
you talked about focus there, and I just want to sort of grab that. How do you and you said, you know, family focus and then business focus, how do you manage your time? Like, are there certain things that you do to have that focus, or how do you get through the day so you know what you need to do by when? How do you do your time management, so to speak?
Or how do I do it? I guess as my business has evolved and as I've continued to get better and better, I guess it's that Parkinson's law. You just get, however, you know, if you're given 4 hours to do a task, it'll take you 4 hours. If you're given 2 hours to do it, you take 2 hours. So I think that it's continuing to fine tune the efficiency in the time that you do have, and then really trying to be as present as you can for the moments that you have apportioned to those things. So when with my family, I do my best to put my phone down. I've put other factors in place. I have 2 phones now, a buyer phone that John has. So at least that way I can make sure that the buyers are still getting the service, but I'm eliminating the potential of getting those 7:30 phone calls at night, so I can be present and just discussing the kids' days and what's happening at school, and being present for, you know, for Megan, and making sure that family time I'm fully engaged, because there was a stage where you're trying to juggle it all and you're not present in either thing. As I said, the scale equaling 0 just means that you're never really there and you're never really not there. So yeah, how to focus. It's just been an evolution of putting, yeah, A, the right team around me, and B, just really being efficient, and creating that time for myself. So getting up early, trying to, just get out for a walk, do some stretching, really kind of work on some personal stuff and some business stuff, then be able to bring that to work, lock in, then hopefully as best I can leave it at work. And um, at the start, I was probably a bit too afraid to tell clients and vendors that, hey, not that I stop working at 5, I'll always have my phone on me, but come it's kind of Sunday, that's my family day, and people, surprisingly or not surprisingly, I just built that assumption. They're totally fine with that. And when you call them back at 6:37, they're like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, well, I'm working for you." They're like, "No, go and have dinner. It's okay." So, but having those conversations early, that's been the biggest thing. That easy communication, early, appropriate, specific, and it's my responsibility or your responsibility. So that's a big thing I've learned. Easy communication, yeah, has been huge.
Love it. Love it. So what we do is that we have a 60-second quiz where I'll throw a bunch of questions at you and you rattle off the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Favorite movie?
Probably Gladiator.
Ooh, nice. Favorite
Yeah.
food?
Chocolate coated strawberries.
Woohoo, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Favorite holiday destination?
Oh, mate, anywhere that's beachfront, to be honest. Yeah. Put me on the beach and I'm sold. Yeah.
Love
And a
it. Love
decent
it.
cafe with nice food. Decent cafe, nice food. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
You mentioned a little bit before. What's your morning routine?
Yeah, so try to get up around 5-ish, do some stretching, glorified yoga, go for a walk, do some listen to a book or work stuff. Um, I'll have a hot shower and finish it off with a cold. Just depends how tough I am. I'm not Stokesy tough, but I'll at least do 20 to 30 seconds. And yeah, so that's kind of a morning routine. And then, kids are up and about and we're at it. So yeah.
Love it. Love it. Do you have an evening routine?
No. You kind of never know what you're walking into. So I just try to be present for that. So what I will do though is after work, I'll give myself 15, 20 minutes to kind of decompress, unwind, so I can rock up and be fully present.
Love it. Love it. And most embarrassing moment?
Oh, mate, I don't know. I think we have a Jacaranda festival, which is coming up in November. So having to do performances in front of the whole town is always a lot of fun. I do remember a couple of years ago, we were practicing. I decided it'd be cool to do a cartwheel in the middle of some kind of dance and split my pants from knee to ass crack. And so everyone saw my pink undies, but no, that's probably about it, mate.
I love it. Love it. If
Yeah.
you could choose 5 inspirational people to have dinner with, who would they be? They could be dead or alive.
Okay. Matthew McConaughey. Just read his book Green Lights. Yeah, really cool way to look at life. Michael Jordan, of course, the GOAT. Jordan Peterson has some just an incredible human being with insights and the way to articulate. Phenomenal. Mark Cuban. Just an absolute freak. And probably Dane Hare, which you know all about. So
yeah, love it.
Yeah, those 5 would be cool.
Fantastic. If you were prime minister for the day, what's one thing that you would change?
Tax. Tax. Yeah. I don't really know much. I don't really get too caught up in the politics. I don't watch TV too much, to be honest. I watch a lot of sport, but I don't watch TV. But I don't really understand what goes on with tax too much, but I understand that I pay a lot of it and I don't like it. So something around that would definitely help. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. And last one, best piece of advice.
You can only connect the dots looking backwards.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you and I have obviously, I'll surmise it very quickly. You and I have a great relationship, and you are actually a lifesaver. I'll give you a plug there for 15 seconds while I got it.
Thank you.
and have walked me through some incredibly tough moments in my existence. And as hard as it is to see, we talk about the headlights analogy and only being able to see a couple of 100 yards ahead. When you stop and take a moment to have a look at what's transpired, and I guess you talk about our relationship over the last couple of years, you can connect the dots and it makes sense. And Bill Gates was really good at communicating that and his story through Google and Microsoft. So yeah, that's been the biggest one for me. So even though I don't necessarily know what the next step forward is, I can kind of look back at the steps that have led to here and kind of help shape a little bit about the direction that I'm going.
Yeah, love it. And what's coming up? Is there any exciting projects that is on the horizon for Team Benny?
Mate, we just want to get better. We want to get more involved in our community. We're constantly looking at how to give back a lot more practically, and not just say that like most people do. So getting involved with some local schools and some local charities. We look, honestly, we just have a keenness to grow and to get better, and to help as many people as we can. We understand there's enough out there for all the real estate agents in Grafton to be successful and do really well. And we don't begrudge any of them for that. We just want to make sure that when people are dealing with us, they're just having the most amazing time. We get it's a stressful time. So just ever improving our service so that wherever that goes will be fun to be a part of.
Love it. And how can the audience get in contact with you?
Call me. Socials. Yep. We're on Insta, Facebook. We're Elders Real Estate Grafton. I've got all my social platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta. I haven't branched out to TikTok yet. That could be something I'll look into. It could be a bit of fun. But otherwise websites. We're always on there.
Fantastic. Benny Holder from Elders Real Estate Lifestyle Group in Grafton. Mate, always an honor, always a pleasure. Always, mate. Love you heaps, buddy, chatting to you. And, mate, thank you for your time.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Love you too.